So here we are in Burra. I'm not really sure what the waterway is that flows through the main part of Burra, but we're walking across the bridge and we're going to show you the sights of Burra. That's a beautiful waterway going through Burra, and we're just taking the bridge across. There's Dougie, and we're just crossing over. There's the Burra Town Hall. So I hope you enjoy this episode as Dougie and I explore the town of Burra. And don't forget to like and subscribe, and thank you to all my subscribers. Well, if you're into Australian history, travel tips, free camping and other information about travelling around Australia with the dog, you've come to the right channel. So join us, Dougie the dog, Kevin the caravan, as we explore Australia. What's this one? Market Street. So this was the doctor's laboratory. And just have a look up the main street, Dougie, and then we're going to go across. What was this? The former Brew and Cruise premises. What's this one? Oh, we're in Commercial Street. The solicitor. Oh, there you go, now it's a cafe. So from a solicitor's office to a cafe. Look at that beautiful pressed tin ceiling there. That is very nice. Come on, Dougie. These beautiful old buildings. So we've just been inside the Burra Tourist Information Centre and we picked up our Burra passport key. So the key you have to pay a $50 deposit for, and then it's $35 for you to do the tour, and you get it for 2 days. And there is an app which I've shown you in a previous video, and for this particular tour we want to follow Johnny Green around. So according to the map, our first stop is literally just across the road, so we're going to walk over and check it all out, and I'm going to have a look at their war memorial that's in the middle of Market Street as we go across. So our amazing passport and the book gets us into 11 different sites. Not sure whether I'm going to show you guys all the different sites, but there's also other places that we're going to go and visit that you don't need the pass key for, including going and seeing the Railway Museum. But now we're just going to check out this beautiful war memorial. So before I forget to mention it, the lady at the Tourist Information Centre said that all of these venues are dog friendly, so you can take the dog inside all of these different passport ventures. So that's great. I'm going to try a key in the next one. Okay, so entrance is at the rear, so we've just actually got to walk around to the back of the shop. Okay guys, that's not good. Can't actually get the key open, so we might just have to stop the video here and head across the Tourist Information Centre. Well guys, there appeared to be a fault with the actual door rather than with my key, because the lady tested it on other things. So we're going to go across the road here and we're going to test it out again on the Unicorn Brewery. So this is interesting with all the history about the brewery and how it started. What I didn't realise was it actually closed in 1902 because of the changes of the rules around the brewing in South Australia. But it's still interesting, all the different history. Apparently it helped the economy in South Australia, being one of the largest brewers during the time of the mine. But this is still a really interesting story, well worth a read. So we're heading down to the main part now in the cellars that are underneath. This is a bit interesting. You quite easily get lost in here. Look at that. You can even see, look, the water coming in to the old walls. But it is amazing. And I'm really enjoying actually being down here in the Unicorn breweries underneath in Burra. So it's really fascinating, guys. Checking out all this. It's amazing. Sometimes not being overly tall has its advantages, but you can tell here in the basement of the old brewery in Burra that that was built by Cornish miners, because they're all very low ceilings. Now, one thing I do want to tell you guys though, when you come to do the tour here in Burra, you want to download the app. So it's called Discover Goida, and then you want to follow and watch the Where's Johnny Green, and in each of the sites that you visit will actually come with a commentary, and if you really want to, you can do the treasure hunt as well. So we're heading out to drive around to Bona Accord and the railway station. And there's Johnny Green on the top. So we're checking out, how do you pronounce it, Bona Accord, is that right? Bona Accord Mine shaft. They never found any copper in Burra at this mine shaft, but they tried to find the copper from here. We're going to go and check out the shaft. So Bona Accord Mine isn't actually part of the key pass. It's separately owned, separate museum, so you just pay attention to when it's open, but it is only a donation if you've actually got the key, so if you've already paid the key. To the real, oh, the name of the town of Burra.
Mine was the largest mine in Australia and one of the largest in the world. So rich were the copper lodes that the mine became known all over the world as the Monster Mine. The discovery of copper here marked the beginning of a period of unprecedented growth in South Australia. At its peak in 1850, the mine employed 1,000 men and boys. They came mainly from the mining communities in Cornwall and brought with them their skills and customs. The mine also employed a mixture of other nationalities, including English and German miners, Scottish and Welsh miners and smelters, Irish labourers, and Chilean muleteers. Until 1868, all mining took place underground. In 1870, open-cut mining was introduced in an effort to extract lower-grade ore more profitably. Lower copper prices forced the closure of the mine in 1877. By then, the Monster Mine had produced about 50,000 tons of copper, valued at about £5 million. That would be $200 million by today's standards.
So after exploring Bona Accord, it's just a short walk up the road straight to the Railway Museum. So we've left the car at Bona Accord and we're taking Dougie for a little walk up the road. So it's really interesting. So the railway station that we're going up to have a look at was actually built in 1883. But the railway itself actually reached Burra in 1870, and that would make sense because they need to get the ore down to Adelaide. But what's interesting is that in 1874 it actually took 5 hours to travel the 160 kilometres down to Adelaide. Entry by donation. So we've just arrived at Burra railway station, which has been fully restored. Now it's not part of the main passport with the keys, but it's well worth a visit. Now it's open between 11 AM and 1 PM, but we just discovered that you can actually stay here in the porter's cottages. It's a B&B, so you might want to think about that if you're coming through Burra. It looks like it's an actual restaurant. Ooh. If that's open for morning tea, I'm going to have morning tea in there. I'm going to tie him outside somewhere, and I'm going in there for morning tea. It's very different, the Burra Hotel there. So we went inside the museum, but they don't actually allow photographing in there, so you guys will have to go out and check it out. but it was well worth it. They've got some amazing fossils and old dinosaur stuff in there as well as their traditional railway memorabilia. Plus they've got dress ups, so you can actually go in there and dress up. But we're heading back to the caravan site now.
So here we are at the Burra campground, and I'm going to show you around the camp kitchen and a few other bits and pieces while we take Dougie for a little walk.
So as you can see, we've had a lot of rain here. We've got a gravel site. We've had a lot of issues with rain and bog.
So we're checking out the camp kitchen here. So you've got nice basic sinks, microwave, fridge, stove, etc. Okay guys, so we're at the dugouts in Burra, and this is one of the last locations
we're going to get to today. We will be having a look at more locations tomorrow. We're here for a few days.
Remember, some of the stuff I've shown you in this video are not part of the pass key, and you just have to check with the Tourist Information Centre on what times they're open. So people lived in these little houses, and they raised a family in here of Cornish miners. Ooh, it's a bit dark in here. Could do with a light. Could do with a torch. It'll all be candle lit. You can see all the timber and the hessian that they would have put in here. Let's go check out the other one. Oh, if I haven't mentioned it already guys, you can actually take your dog to all of the sites. Okay, so here we go. So this is their kitchen. They would have cooked on the cauldron. I don't know how well that's coming out for you guys. There's not much light in here. So there's a little girl sitting there. Mum's cooking on the stove. With a little bit of light I can show you. So if you imagine that the creek is here, a lot of the dugouts actually washed away when the Burra Creek came up. I'm going to go and check out the ones over here now. I don't think I fancy living in there. But this side's interesting because it's got railway sleepers, and they've actually dug out for a chimney in the top. And they have a little window, a little bit more light in. So it's our last day in Burra, and we're heading up now to see the historical mine area of Burra, which was where they mined for copper in the 1800s. So we're going to go and check that out for our last day in Burra. Wow, there is so much to see up here. Let's get started, Dougie. So I hadn't realised how much there was to explore here up at the Burra mine shaft.
So it's just interesting, like all these different signs about the ore pressing and the fact that they closed the mine down and then they opened it back up again, and just the fact that there's a massive great big hole right behind me at the moment, which is the actual copper mine. and it goes down like, I don't know, sort of like an iceberg, so it gets really skinny at the bottom, but it is huge, and in all the buildings around the outside of it. So let's keep exploring.
Here he goes. Oh wow. You wouldn't even know this was here if it wasn't for the signs. Look at the workmanship on the tunnel entrance with all these stones. Very strong to last since the 1870s. Oh. Let's go the Aqueduct Tunnel.
Alright guys, so the sign may talk about all of the different places inside here, but at the moment this part is actually closed, so we can't really get in and see everything, but I'm going to show you as much as I can. So this is amazing, guys. Now it's 3 stories up, going up and down the stairs. So I am not going to puff and pant through the video as I climb to the top of the stairs and climb back down again. But it's really interesting, and it's just fascinating that this was used to keep the water out of the mine shaft before they turned it into the open cut mine. So you can imagine how perilous the work would have been back in those days. Well guys, that was really interesting checking out the engine house. We're going to head up now and check out the power magazine.
I'm going to check out inside the powder magazine. In we go, Daddy. Australia's oldest mine building, completed in 1847. Wow. Get the flagstone floor and this round shaped ceiling. I don't know whether this is showing it very well. That might give you a better idea. Yes, Danny.
So the pad magazine was interesting, the history behind it. Now we've just driven right round to the other side so we can have a look at the lookout, but I just stopped halfway up the hill so I could just give you guys a view over the whole site from this angle, which is pretty cool. So this is pretty funny about the knobs and snobs, the 2 different groups that came together to open the mine. I find this really funny, the different kinds of concepts of the knobs and snobs.
But from here, you can see the smelters are straight across there in the distance.
Okay, so our next stop is the Red Roof Courthouse, which was built in 1857 and was still operating until 1986 when it was moved to Clare. But it costs £800 to build it. But the bit that is open is the lockup, which we're going to walk around and check it out.
So we're heading into the police lockup now, which doesn't actually appear to be locked. The door's unlocked at the moment. It is too. Locked door behind you. Whoever was in here after me didn't lock the door behind them. We're into here. It's getting a bit dark. I'm not sure if there's a light. So we're just going to check out some of this. And here, law and order in Burra, the mining era. So this was, well, the rain could come in through there. So this is the lockup. I can't resist, got to open one of these. Ooh. Oh my goodness, I don't think I fancied this as a place to live. Very cold and creepy. Right, let's come out, guys. What's next down here? So the rest of the lockups have got padlock doors. And this looks like it's the main police lockup stables. So you'd have the horses running around. Let's go and have a look at what the sign says. So we're here, and so this private residence would have been all the troopers' area, and we came in through the stables, and that's the main lockup area. So this is cool. Now we're going to head on up and check out some of the other ones with our Burra key. So we're heading up to the jail now in Burra. This is another one on our key access things. So this is really interesting. They actually shot the movie Break 'em around here, and one of the interesting things I found was after it was a jail, it was a reformatory school, and they had to improve the reformatory school to keep the girls in. I need the right key, not the car key. Whoop. And more hands. Here we go, guys. Well, this is the main area in the jail where they would exercise at the exercise yard, which is really cool. Okay, so here we are inside the main part of the building, which is interesting. Okay guys, so we've been exploring Burra with our key. Now it's $50 to hire the key, which they give you back. But you do also have to pay for the activity. It is absolutely brilliant, but I'm not going to show you all of the places. You need to hop out to Burra in South Australia and really enjoy this World Heritage area. I would highly recommend, based on the number of things to do and see around here, that you stay here for a couple of days at least, so you can see all the different sites without rushing. So thanks for watching, and stay tuned to the channel, and thank you to all my subscribers, and we'll catch you in our next episode, wherever Dougie, Kevin the Caravan and I may be. See you next time.